Who that look like? Hey, who that look like? If you from the Trefo, you know. Who that look like though, for real? Who that look like, though? It's crazy. Y'all do know that Curtis Jackson mama from South Carolina, right? You do realize that. Yeah, she's from South Carolina. She's from South Carolina. And his family's from South Carolina. You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised about how many people is from South Carolina. Like, South Carolina is really the breadbasket for humanity, right? What was the guy's name? They found his DNA. He had the Y chromosome, and his DNA date back 300,000 years to this territory. Man. And so yeah, man. That's why the work that we're doing is so important. Because my target audience is Carolinians. Period. Like, I'm talking to the Carolinians and everybody that is connected therein. You feel what I mean? Be it by blood, you know, you may have blood ties to the Carolinians. You may have, I don't know what your tie to the Carolinians is, but that's who my target audience is. That's who my target audience is for this next project. Is for the Carolinians that ain't even been born yet. But I have to talk to you, the humanity right now, the living, because y'all gonna be the ones to bring forth the next generation. So therefore, we have to all be on code, just like Jamaica's on code, just like Haiti's on code, just like Mexico's on code, just like Brazil is on code, just like Venezuela is on code, just like Costa Rica is on code, just like Yemen is on code, just like Palestine is on code, just like Jordan is on code, just like England is on code, just like Germany is on code, just like Czechoslovakia is on code, just like Poland is on code, just like Switzerland is on code, just like Tierra del Fuego is on code, just like Japan is on code, just like China is on code, just like North Korea is on code, just like South Korea is on code, just like Indonesia is on code, just like Malaysia is on code, right? So I'm talking to the Carolinian people directly. Indirectly, I'm talking to the world. But my platform is geared towards the Carolinians, and is geared toward the Carolinians because we are... Now, this is interesting. We having a discussion here on this live tonight. You see what they say? Mediterranean conquest. Now, pay attention to how they got the coin, right? For Augustus Caesar, right? Augustus Caesar. That's what this edition is. But you see, they got the coin for Augustus Caesar. But let's find Hannibal. They got the coin for Alex the Great, Alexander the Great, right? But why don't they got Hannibal coins up in there? Hold up. Man. So yeah, just say, you see, that's Andronima. How do you say her name? How do you say her name? Okay. So we read about Hannibal today at St. Andrews. So St. Andrews come from Andronomer, Andronomia, Andronomir. So St. Andro me bruh. Andromeda. This is the daughter of Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is the most beautifulest constellation and the woman in the sky. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Today I ain't seen nothing but beautiful women. My God. I ain't seen nothing but beautiful women all day today. You feel me? That's how you know you moving right. When it's just everywhere, every block, everywhere you go. Just beautiful women, just naturally beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful women in this planet, right? So we got to get our act together, for real. We have to get our act together because we got to, you got to know the story of Cassiopeia and her daughter. So we got to restore her daughter, you know what I mean? Because, Cassiopeia was the queen of Ethiopia. You feel me? It's the queen of Ethiopia right there. But Cassiopeia was the original queen of Ethiopia, but she got kicked out. Why? Because she was standing for real shit. And she stood on facts and truth and principle. So she got kicked out, and now her daughter's suffering because of it. That's ancient. That's ancient. They threw her out, and then she got her in a fixed position in the sky. Matter of fact, let's pull her up. Should I? Y'all want to see Cassiopeia? I'll show you Cassiopeia. So I'm a part of my authorship is I have to be a cosmologist. I have to understand what's going on in the heavens in order to be a better writer. Okay? So I'm not relying on AI. I'm relying on the Most High, right? So you have to understand the synchronicities of the galaxy and what's going on in the cosmos and how that relates to where you are right now on the planet, right? So the energy, like I'm documenting in this next project, you're gonna get the cosmic times, like where the sun was at, So this is currently in Andronomer now, right? In the sky, she's descending over the west. So looking west, like if you're on the East Coast and you looking west towards LA, it's crazy. When I used to ride down 52 in the tray, when I was a kid, with my mama, we got a green GMC van, and I'd be in the back of the van with my mom and my dad, and we riding down 52 over Walltown. So you know that bridge over Walltown, you can see over Vargrave, Walltown, that intersection, that corner, that block, that section over there. And I would, as a kid, I knew that. Well, I knew that was west because that's where the sun was set. So like when we would go to Wednesday night Bible study or wherever, I would look and see the sunset, and I knew that California was that way because I've been going to LA since I was 4 years old. I've been going to LA since I was 4. So I would always think like, dang, can I see LA from here? So if you on that bridge over Vargrave and you standing looking west, you know what I'm saying, into the sunset, you're going to see Andronomer on the descent right now, currently. You feel me? So that's Cassiepia's daughter. You feel me? So we have to, she gotta unleash the change. Feel me? I'm telling you, Cass Sophia's, that should go right there. That's her right there. My God. That's her. So how women, when they sit on the beach, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's they pose. They don't even know that they Castlefinians. They don't even know that. But I'm here to tell it. That's her. That's who she is. And, like, she got that energy. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a mama's son. So, my thing is, if you throw me in a corner, I'm gonna run the block. And that's how she is. You know what I'm saying? If you throw her in the corner, she gonna run the galaxies. You feel me? That's it. You see how she lined up with the Milky Way? So she like right here. Like right here. You feel me? So, that's Cephas' wife. That's technically supposed to be Cardi B. Cause ain't his name Cephas? Yeah, that's that galaxy talk, man. So I want to go back to the coins. So you see how they had the coins of everybody. Alright. But when it comes to Hannibal, they got the 336 in here, son. Look. They got the 336. See? 336 BC. So Alexander the Great, dang, it say it right there. I didn't even see that. Was the king from 336 to 323 BC. Feel me? So, but you see they got his coin. They got his coin too. Yeah, so, but then, where are we at? Hannibal. They got all this drop on Hannibal. You feel what I'm saying? And I wanted to bring this with me today to the St. Andrews. They got all that drop on Hannibal, right? But they don't have his coin. But we got the joint. We're talking about Hannibal. It's fact 54. Fact 54. It says that, alright, here's Hannibal's fact. But I want to read, this is what I want to read about it. 54, alright, bet. Hannibal is usually depicted as a white man, but his coins in the British Museum, and the Museo Culturino, Rome, show him to have an African of the purest type with rings in his ear, and perhaps the leading authority on Hannibal, we do not possess any authentic portrait of Hannibal. That's what they say. These coins were struck by Hannibal while he was in Italy. The absence of the other information is the most logical argument that they bore his own effigy. The more so, as several kinds of them bear the same likeness. Above all, let us remember that he wasn't African. Alright? So, this is how they have him depicted. You see what I'm saying? You see him on the elephant there? Feel me? But then they got him right here too. They got him right there too. But they said they don't have no accurate portrait of him. You feel what I'm saying? So this is just how he's depicted. But we know where he's from. And then they say, so they got all them other coins. but they don't have the coins for with Hannibal on it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's about the like you got content and context, right? So the content this is content. You feel what I mean? But the context is the facts. So Hannibal used this is the point that I wanted to make. Okay? Remember what I said, a friend of my friend, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay? So that's like Rick Ross commenting on T.I.'s son, what's his name? That's like him commenting on his post. You feel what I'm saying? Saying that he need one of them shirts because you know, that's the theory. That's the whole point. So it says Hannibal used Spain as his base of operation as he set out to defeat Rome in the Second Punic War. Beginning in 218, Carthage was no longer under a great naval power, but the Spanish treasure allowed Hannibal to assemble a formidable army that included mercenaries from Spain, North Africa, and Gaul. So this is how he got his allies. Some of those recruits, particularly the Celts, it says, from northern Italy, were motivated more by the hatred for Rome. Now remember, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. So the Celts are friends with Hannibal because they had a mutual hate for Rome and what Rome was doing. Raping women, practicing pedophilia, practicing homosexuality, feminizing the alpha male, killing off of the bloodlines, burning the books, altering the DNA, stealing the birthright of Christ, because that's exactly what they did. That's why you got Islam, you feel what I mean? So, because Muhammad was Christ's cousin, so they seen what was happening to Christ. They were blaspheming the Virgin Mary, right? Stripping her of her true powers and calling her the Holy Spirit. So you kind of see what's happening. That's why Castle where she at. You feel me? That's what was going on. It all had to do with Rome. So this is why they were going. This is what the battle was about. You feel me? So that's just, don't get caught up in the color. Nature knows no color line. That is nature. Nature is like, it said, we don't care who you is. We, you know what I'm saying? The only reason why we fighting with you is because of this. You feel me? So that's why you had like, you had the Danes. You know what I'm saying? The Danes, I brought up that Mel Gibson movie, The Patriot, today when I did that live. But The Patriot, he also was in Braveheart. And so in Braveheart, they were at war, and on the battlefield, they pulled their arse out. It was like, kiss my arse. You feel me? So that's how them Danes is. That's why the Danes was tribed up with the Scots. You feel me? So that's Andronomer's mama. So that's St. Andrew. You feel me? This is Christ's disciples. So what if Christ was a woman? You feel me? Because she very much well could have been. You feel me? Christ could have been, like, if, and what if all her disciples was one? because this planet, you have to realize this planet moves on a 26,000 year cycle. Okay? So this the 26, it's the year of the 26, but the planet moves on a 26,000 year cycle. It resets every 26,000 years. And so there was a time in our cosmic clock that there was just women on the planet, and that's a fact. And I actually showed you and I brought up where this is this is the territory that tells you about where we come from. That man dropped out of the sky here, probably through here. You feel me? And because we not getting in here without a womb. You feel me? We not getting on this planet without a womb. We're not. And they're trying to get it to that with everything that's going on. But you're not getting here and the only way that you coming in this earth outside of this is if they cut you out. Like how they did with my mama. They cut me out my mama. And I remember it. It was a sacred ceremony that was going on when my mama gave birth to me. It was a sacred ceremony that was going on, and they had to induce labor because I was taking my time. I was taking my dear time. On 2695. On I-2695 is when I arrived. Feel me? So when I came out my mom, they had to cut me out. And this is why it's important to have home births and have doulas. So like with my son, when my son was born, off of the 26. You feel what I'm saying? When my son was born, his mother was in labor for 40 hours. So we had to be patient instead of, taking her to the hospital and then them performing a C-section. We had to be patient. So we patiently waited for that boy to come because the same thing was happening. Like, it's a ritual that happens. And so you have to be patient. You have to be patient. The baby is the most important person in the room during that time. And a lot of people, especially people who, first of all, they're being trained by Rome in the hospital. That's it. So I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just saying use common sense. But a lot of people aren't patient and they're not putting the babies first. That's why Pac said the hate you give little infants fucks everybody, right? So like, as a parent, you're gonna have to endure baby cries. You're gonna have to endure, changing them diapers. It's a lot of stuff that goes into parenting. You feel me? But them babies come first. Period. The babies come first. That's why women, every time they give birth, they are literally our heroes. My mama, my hero. Because she put her life on the line when they had to cut her up out of me. Cut her up out of... Bro, y'all know what I mean, bro. It's been a long day, man. Y'all know they did not cut my mama up out of me, man. Listen to me. When they cut my mama open and out came me. Now, the only way that would make sense is I'm an extension of my mama. You feel what I'm saying? But I still came up out of her, not the other way around. You feel me? So I was just here to bring her back. That's literally that's my role. That's role is to continue her mitochondria on this planet. To make sure that it lives long on this planet. That's it. That's literally why I'm here. Is doing the works of my mama. and filling in for the work that she was doing, and continuing it, right? Taking it further, so that like when I see my mom again, you know, I can tell her, I can like, mama, like look at what we did. You feel what I'm saying? Like I can show her all the receipts. You know what I mean? Because that's eternity, right? So, you know, how I cope with the loss, her transition is doing the works out of faith that I'm gonna see her again and have the feeling that I'm like she's right here. You feel what I mean? And once that is restored, I can say like, hey, look, mama, so while you was gone, this is what all we did. This everything we did in your honor, right? This is what we left behind. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all I care about. And, you know, it's coming up on the 17-year anniversary since I lost my mom's. 17 years it's been since I lost my mama. Since she transitioned, since she went into the heavens, and I didn't even realize that. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory on today, since it's like the backdrop. Woke up late, like really late, cause I be up at like 4 in the morning, so I had to get my son up by a certain time. Typically, we gotta be up by like 6:30, 7 o'clock at the latest. But today was 7:30, so I'm like, yo, boom, nah, take a shower, let's go. While he taking his shower, I had already showered, so I was good. So I'm like, shit, since I'm dropping him off, I might as well get this shot. You know, get this filming in. Cause I already been there, I already done did the works, already got it written. I already got that shit written, you feel me? That piece is already written. But I wanted to go back to document it live so people could see, and it was certain points that I wanted to, you know, to talk about. Mainly this point right here being that cross, you feel me? 95, 26, you know what I mean? That's literally the day I'm born, and it's like, it's the only place in the, that's just it. So like St. George, it's crazy. Like that's like, who's gonna tell you that, bro? People pulling information off of the internet, dog. But I'm like living that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Really that, dog. So I woke up and like boom. So got into school. Because that's most important to me. That's most important to me. Outside of all the other bullshit, this right here, is what's most important to me. That. You feel me? That's most important to me. Is being a stand-up man. That's what you call being a stand-up man. You feel me? I knew when he was conceived, when he was condemned conceived. So I accepted everything that came with it when that moment, this magic moment, when that happened, I accepted everything that came with it. So it's my duty to be a father first, right? So being a father first means like you're gonna miss out on, you know what I'm saying, like some money plays. You're not gonna make as much money. So you gotta learn, like you had to really sit, like, bro, I had to sit, like when his daughter came, his daughter, this nigga daughter came 2.5 years after he did. So I had to do it all over again. I had to, like, just right when I was about to get back, you know what I'm saying, on my feet, you know, son's on his own, like not on his own, but can bathe himself, can put his own clothes on. You gotta start over. You gotta start all the way over. Boom. You feel me? So I've been down, bro. Like, for real. And I'm not gonna call that broke. I'm not gonna call that being broke. Because, like, when you put your children first, you feel me? That's priceless. You feel me? So I stayed down. You know what I mean? I had to move back in with my folk and everything. Humbling, bro. That's humbling. And like, I don't judge no adult that gotta go back and live with their people. Cause I've been there. Shit, I'm still there, bro. Like, for real. Like, on my mama now. So it's tough out here being a father, bro. It's tough out here doing that. But still, is no excuse. It come first. Feel me? Woke up late, still was on school on time. You know what I mean? And so, like, and he's watching everything. Like, my son is into classical music now and museums. Because his dad listened, like, I literally listen to classic music. I probably, I'm a hip-hop head, but majority of the time, if you ride with me, which nobody ride with me but my children, you feel me? We listening to classical music. You feel me? Or something soulful. You know what I mean? And so, like, that will come first, them babies. And so, this is what, again, this is how I'm honoring my mama. And it's like, I'm not doing this to brag or, you know, boast or, you know what? Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. You know what I mean? So this is the cross. That's why we was at the St. Andrew's Cross today. That's why I took y'all there. That's why I took you there. Just because, like to see this, like, my mom's birthday is a historical event in this landmass where I'm at, where I'm doing these ground studies. You know, y'all can donate to these ground studies, you know, if you want. But I really, instead of donating, I'd rather you donate my books, right? So in order to donate the books, you got to buy them. So donate the books to the schools, donate the books to the people on the street, right? So, like, get books. So, like, you know, when people got things on the street and you always looking like, dang, I don't got no coin, I don't carry cash no more, it's 2026. You know, you give them a book, give them my books, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Santiago uses books as pillows, right? So, that's how you can fund, you know, this next project. Like, I'm not looking for it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm not asking for it, because at the end of the day, we're going to do it ourselves. You feel me? We are doing it ourselves. But if you want to contribute, it's much appreciated. And I should say, for the people who want to, instead of paying me directly buy my books because my books go to my children. You feel what I'm saying? The royalties go to them, right? That's how we setting up. That's sovereign. A true sovereign. If you look at the definition in its true sense of sovereign, it's an author. It's an author of words. That's what makes you sovereign. Man, just gave me this confirmation. This was right after I did that recording. But what I do get on the other side of the river is the alarm clock. You feel what I'm saying? And what did I just say? Got the alarm clock. Bro, that shit almost brought tears to my eyes, bro. He's like, yo, come here. He's like, I know you know about copper, right? He's like, yeah, I'm made of. That's what I'm made of. He just put this on my wrist, bro. My man. It's like Santiago, the king of silence. Santiago. Yes, sir. Yeah, the essence of moving in silence. I'm gonna read this big. Yeah. You're not the king of Salem, are you? I'm the king of the world. The king of the world. I believe it. I just posted this on my page the other day. So I posted about the cop nigga yesterday. You feel me? Yesterday I posted that on the joint. Then that's where it came from. Because I made this post yesterday. This post right here is what I made yesterday on the joint, on the Mel Gibson joint, the Patriot joint. That's it. You feel me? Because they was in the Congressional Hall at the Old Exchange where I was speaking to you live from the last time. That's crazy, ain't it? So I was like, all right, boom, this is where I was reading 100 Amazing Facts of the Negro at the Old Exchange. They say that's South Carolina's oldest historical, or the grandest historical site or whatever. But that's not why I was there. You feel me? So we there to break the curse that's been put on our people. That's why I was there. It's breaking those spells that's on our people. They put on our people. I want our people to see who they are and to value who they are. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they be wanting us to have our head hanging down and like, oh, so, you know what I mean? So that they can pat us on the back. That's exactly what they want. They don't want you to know your history. You feel me? So I brought up the Hessians. Feel me? So that's why I was like, I gotta take y'all to where the Haitians, where they was at. So as an author and a writer, you feel me? It's really important. So you see, you got it say the joint. Damn, I forgot what I was trying to get. Dang, I forgot. My mama, I did. I forgot, nigga. I was about to get something. There was something over here I was trying to get. The king, oh, I know. So the king of Salem, that's Melchizedek. That's Melchizedek. There you go. So this is man. It's this, so all Muslims know that you praying when you do your salat, You praying to the family of Amram, you feel me? Which is the descendants of Abraham. You feel me? Ibrahim. So wa Allah Ibrahim. Right? So it says, after Abraham returned from defeating Kedor Lamor and the king's ally with him. What did it say? That historical mark say the ally? It's talking about the allies. We was just reading about Hannibal and his allies. The king's ally with him. The king of Sodom came to meet him in the valley of Sevilla. That is the king's valley. It says, then Melchizedek, the king of Salem. It say, then, man. It say, then Melchizedek, the king of Salem, which was the king of the world. That's what the brother told you who he was. You think it's a game? Why was he lined up right there in the cut? You feel me? Why was he lined up right there in the cut with copper? Y'all ain't see all the copper he had on him. You feel me? And that's who y'all would call homeless or the poor. No. He said he the king of the world. That's why I asked him, I'm like, yo, because it was like an omen moment. I'm like, bro, that's the king of Salem. Like, I feel like Santiago right now. You feel me? Because I was already in Santiago mode. After that live, I was in Santiago mode. You know what I mean? It says, then Melchizedek, the king of Salam, brought the bread. Man, shit, Lord. But that's Salah, then verse 18 of the 14 of the genes of Isis, it says, Melchizedek, the king of Salam, brought out the bread and wine. He was the priest of the God Most High. He was the priest of God the Most High. Subhan Rabbi Allah. And he blessed Abraham, saying, blessed be Abraham by God Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth. And blessed be the God, the Most High, who delivered your enemies into his hand. Then Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. Man. That's real, bro. We living out those scriptures, bro. We living out them scriptures. Man. You know what I mean? We rocking for Castle Pia. You feel me? We rocking for Castle Field, right? When we do our salat, we doing it towards Castle Field. You know what I'm saying? Do you know that the Qibla is aligned with Castle Field? And if you do it at the right time, the nighttime prayer, right? During the right time, it's aligned. Allah, Ibrahim. You gotta do it at the right time. You gotta know cosmology for real. So Saint Andrew is Saint Andronomer. You see what I'm saying? That's Saint Andronomer. That's who she is. You feel me? She coming back for her shit. She coming back for her mama shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro. These women they go harder than the men. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. You better. I'm trying to tell you, better keep your wits, because these women ain't playing. They come in to step on necks. They not playing that shit. It's either you gonna move out the way, or they finna move you out the way. And they not playing no games. They not. So now is not a time to be spiteful towards women, to hate women, to degrade women in any way, shape, form, or capacity, myself included. I'm trying to tell you, man. You feel me? Look, My sister from South Central Los Angeles. You feel me? And I've been scared of her my whole life. I never wanted to get on her bad side. She not one you want to play with. She not one you want to play with. None of my sisters is, but my oldest sister, matter of fact, I seen her switch. I seen her switch in California. You feel what I'm saying? Off the 14. I seen it. I remember. I was like, oh shit. Cause my sister been nice. She was the nice. Them be the ones, the nicest ones. Them the nicest ones. You don't want the. Don't take they niceness for granted, or don't take advantage of their niceness. Cause when they switch, that's all I'm saying. That's them Khalifa. That's the Khalifa queens. On my mama, on Shirley Avenue. That's, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nip. We was on Crenshaw because of Shirley. We went to go see Miss Shirley. You know what I'm saying? Man, dang, bro. I see everybody talking about Malcolm right now. And what I got to say about that is make sure it's genuine. Just because, like, I don't know what happened. I ain't seen the video or nothing like that. But don't just start caring because somebody put the camera around. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you need to be praying. Like, when you don't hear from somebody, you genuinely need to. If you don't it's like what J. Cole said. This is probably one of the realest lines. If you ain't play their music while they was living, then you can't listen. You know, you can't play their shit after they get hit. That's real talk. You feel what I mean? Because it has to be genuine. You know what I mean? It gotta come from a place of genuine love. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we all grew up together. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the concern is genuine. But at the same time, like, Trent say call him. He could find where, if you know where his witch is. You feel me? That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So we coast to coast with it, bro. Real talk. So and then another thing, that's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm, grown man. If he wanted to come home, he would. Y'all don't know what he got going on. You know what I mean? He probably don't even want all that attention. You know what I mean? So that's what I gotta say about that, bro. Mal is our brother, and I trust that he gonna be all right. That's just me. I trust that he gonna be all right. And, like, it's so much opportunity out here. It's so much opportunity out here. Like, it's really no excuse for nobody not to be, take care of themselves. I done hit rock motherfucking bottom and got back up. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no excuse. What it do, Hundo? It's really no excuse. So it's like, man, everybody just need to take care of themselves. You know what I mean? I pray that Malcolm's straight. You know what I'm saying? I pray that everything good out there. I don't know where he at, but I know he gonna be straight. That's my motherfucking brother. He gonna bounce back. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. So you feel me? These original vinyls for the Godfather joint. That's from 1972. That's what it is. So this the holy city. We out here with it. These the ground studies. The Melchizedek. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That's what it is, bro. Malcolm is the son of Salam. He is son of Salam. So he gonna be straight. He covered by the Most High. You know what I mean? That's, the king of Salem. That's it, man. That's the principle that we live off of. Don't judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? We all, like, everybody is going through life. It's a lot of shit out here, you know. When I was homeless, ain't nobody motherfucking put no goop me for me. You feel what I'm saying? That's real talk. When I was down bad, that's why I'm like, bro, sometimes people gotta live through that shit. On some real nigga shit. They gotta live through it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Big birthday. It's big birthday. We coming off the 53rd house. You know what I'm saying? That's the 53rd house. Gangsta B.I. Nigga. Gangsta B.I. Gangsta Beta Iota. So, that's it. You gotta earn your stripes out here, bro. Gotta earn your stripes. You gotta earn your rank, you know. That's just what it is. That's how you become a made man. That's the principles that I want our sons, really our son. I speak to the sons, but I speak to the daughters too. But like for the sons, like we gotta set the example because I am one. You know what I mean? I am the example, right? We are the example. We gotta set a positive example for these sons that's coming up. They gotta earn their rank. You know what I'm saying? They gotta earn their status. Like, that's just what it is, bro. They gotta have morals. They gotta be raised up on morals. And that's what's missing in our community, the discipline. For real. But yeah, back to my mom, you know, just closing out on her. Because, you know, it is 17 years since I lost her. And what I would say to that is that I pray that no 14-year-old child, no child, period, has to lose a mom. But my mama gave her life for me. I know she did. I didn't get to see her. I didn't get to see her when that day. If I could go back to that day, I would have wanted to be with her from the time she left Forsyth Hospital and went to the hospice. I would have stayed the night with her the night before, and not have went to school. If it was big, if I would have known like what was up and the severity of it. If I could go back and do it all over again, that's how I would do it. And I feel like if that would have happened, she may have well still been here with us. And so like, 17 years without my mom, it's not that I wish she came back. It's I wish she never left. Because when you don't have your mom, you don't realize how much of a role that she played and plays. So like, just as simple as picking the kids up for school, prepping meals, going on the field trips with the kids, watching them for the weekend, watching them throughout the week. I ain't never really sitting on the phone for 2 hours, 4 hours a day. You know what I mean? That's how these last 17 years been for me. It's been crazy. It's been crazy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had to live with this day for 17 years as a reminder. And I talked to my closest friend. You know, we talked. And I was talking to her and I was telling her, like, she was telling me how much strength I got to do what I do. And I'm like, I don't know where it come from. I don't know if it come from ego. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my ego that got the strength. Like I had to have strength because of my ego. And when I went to counseling, I had talked to the counselor about the severity of it, and I told the counselor that I never accepted the fact that my mom is not here no more. I never accepted that fact. And that's how I've been able to live with the reality, is because I don't accept that. Like, I'm like, well, if I don't accept the fact that she's not here, I can get on through. I can get past everything, you know. And if I accept it, then I feel like that's when I'm also going to accept my death too. And I know that that's deep. You know what I mean? And so therefore, I've been learning these ancient principles about everlasting life, right? So like the ethers and things that can outlive you, right? Because it's like, for me, not accepting the fact that my mom died is, like I told her, I'm like, it's like a contract. Yeah, and I went to counseling. I've been doing the work, you know. I'm like, it's like a contract. So I'm like, if I accept that, then, you know, so by me not accepting that, I've been able to communicate with my mom through telepathy, these books, it's a huge part of it. These studies, these field studies, like I said, when I opened up, I'm like, okay, I'm doing all this work so that, like, when my time come, I have something to say with my mom, like talk to her about, like, yo, this is what it's all about. This is what being a man is all about. It's like, it's what being a my son is all about. You know, that's why I'm an alpha. That's legitimately why I'm an alpha. My mom was born the same year our charter was chartered. My grandma was born the same year that the original charter was chartered in 1935. You feel me? And my big mama Big Bertha, was born in 1906. You feel me? That's the flip off of the Carolinian franc. That's like the Swiss francs. But I'm the Carolinian franc. Because Big Bertha was the Carolinian from Virginia. You feel me? That slid down through Stokes County and married the Crits. That's the Germans. If you could get the point, nigga, I'm a German. I'm a German. My family on the Germans, they were the first family to naturalize in Patrick County. And Bertha Spencer married, you know, I don't know, Elmer Crite or Crits. So I'm a German. Fahrnugen. Fahrnugen. On the Great Wagon Road. That's why they got the Volkswagen. So yeah, man. It's no excuse. Again, it's no excuse. Like, you know, it's so much opportunity out here. And the thing about it is, what you have to understand the element of humanity too. Because you see how that she is coded with the map. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's my territory, man. Feel me? So that's why we fly England flag. You know what I mean? Ask my daughter about George. I surely know about George. Pepper. But yeah, son. That's when my mama gave birth to me, so she knew. The real knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. But we was working together though. You feel me? I'm like, mama, today, I gave her the knot. I was in her womb. All right, mama, let's go. You feel me? And she was like, oh shit. Me knocking is what put her into labor. That's what put her into labor. And we was at 52:33. And that day it was cold. And then we went to 52:33 to 33:33, Salis Creek. That's where my mama carried me to. Right? So they cut me up out of her. I'm not gonna tell you the time. I'm not gonna tell you the time that they cut me on my mama. Cause fuck you. Fuck you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Just know. They cut me up. They cut me on my mama. That made me a madman. So I'm healing from that. My anger. You know what I mean? Cause why they cut me on my mama? And let me see if I could pull this receipt up real fast. I want to pull this receipt real quick before we go. This is I just found it. I just seen it out the corner of my eye. This is the Virgin Mary. This is right here. So I dedicate this to my mama. This is I'm gonna close out at 12 o'clock, and I'm gonna talk about this for the last 7 minutes now. So this is a depiction of Christ carrying his mom's soul. When the Virgin Mary died, Christ came after her soul. So just think about what Christ means to the world, what Christ means to humanity, right? And imagine him putting everything else to the side. Like we heard about him giving sight to the blind. We heard about him healing the lepers. We heard about Christ walking on water. We heard about Christ, restoring his life. But here, to me, is the most triumphant thing I ever heard of Christ's deeds. And that was him coming back for his mama's soul. And as you see, they got her soul, the Virgin Mary, depicted as a baby. I'm getting the chills right now, man, because that's crazy. What up, Dale? Yo. What's up, man? To my brothers with daughters, I call this. You feel me? Man. So, that's like me carrying my daughter. And I've never told nobody this. But my mom is she's in a bronze urn. And when I was in the tray, I took her urn to the damn river. And I carried it. And this was like when my daughter was like, she was a newborn. She was like maybe about 2-3 months old at the time. And I just was like, this was before I knew about this story. You know, the Christ carrying the Virgin Mary. So you could type it in on Google and get more facts on it. But I remember carrying my mom's, her weight of her, you know, her remains to the damn river. And when I was holding it, I was like, man, it's like holding a baby. You feel me? Because that's like her soul, like that, the bronze, that bronze vassalage. And when you read Wonderful Ethiopians, which published 100 years ago, Cecilia Dundry Houston talks about how all the queens of Moreau, they're in bronze vassalages in Germany, in Munich. It's crazy. But my mom she's sealed in one. And I took her to the River Dan, up Highway 8. And I just was like, man, this is like, you know, it's like, it's no different from carrying, because I was carrying my daughter at the time, like, as a baby, when she was a baby. So I'm like, man, this is like, wow. And so that's what that everlasting life is all about. That's the Christ principle. You feel me? So that's Christ trusting his mama's soul to the angel Gabriel and Michael, Saint Michael, right? And I just thought that's so real, you know. That was, if you study Christianity and you study the story of Christ, the most important person to Christ was his mama. She was always behind him. And Christ was talking to his mama more than he was talking to God. And if you look at the Council of Nicaea, that's what they did, was they stripped the mother and gave us the Holy Spirit. That's why we say the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And so for me, that shit hit different. You know what I'm saying? The Holy Ghost. I ain't scared of ghosts. I'm not scared of them. And I be feeling like it was an attack. And Dev, I was talking about how my mom was born in 1951. You know what I'm saying? Same year the 53rd house. And my grandma was born in 1935, Kalamazoo. And my great-grandma was born in 06. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm, you know, young monkey nigga turned gorilla. You feel me? So, you know, it's about to be the 27th. I'm going to end it. I'm going to end this at midnight. And I dedicate this live to my mom. You know, I give, you know, Allah is my strength. Allah is my strength. So I just want man, la ilaha illa shalita, la ilaha illa shal, la ilaha illa shalayin nas, Hermina yan nas, Allah is la yo wisos nas. Long live my mama, man. Long live my mother. 06 to the good bros. I gotta go. Peace.